Hello everyone, myself Trishala Kharat. In today's lecture, we will discuss about the Euglena viridis. Euglena viridis, it is a unicellular organism which resembles one another. It is a more long, slender, vibratile protoplasmic fibrils or flagella as organs of locomotion. They belong to the class Flagellata. The flagellates are supposed to be the most primitive of all protozoas because so many of them are plant-like, and the plant kingdom could be well developed from them. Besides, most phyla as well as some protozoans commonly studied example of this class is the Euglena. Over 150 species of Euglena are known, differing from one another from size, shape, behavior and structure, but the most commonest is the Euglena viridis. Euglena viridis is a typical example and one of the most largest uniflagellate, and it is a chlorophyll bearing mastigophora. E viridis means EU means true. Glene, Glene, glene means eyeball, and viridis means green. Therefore, it is called as a E viridis or Euglena viridis is a green Euglena with an eye-like photoreceptor organelles. These Euglena viridis, it is a microscopic. They lived in a solitary, and it is a free-living organism mostly found in stagnant fresh water, for example pools, ponds, deep ditches and slow-running streams. It is typically abundant in the puddles of rainwater. In the puddles of rainwater containing decaying nitrogenous organic matter such as urine and feces of animals, leaves, twigs. The number of individuals may be so great as so impart of greenish sting or greenish scum present on water surface. Some species may be found in muds, swamps, damp soil, snow, and even on the body surface of tadpoles and crustaceans. The nutrition of this Euglena viridis, it is a holophytic and saprophytic. The structure and size of this viridis. The viridis is measuring about 60 micrometer in length, and this body is elongated and spindle shaped. The body is divisible into three parts. First anterior part, then middle part, and third posterior part. The anterior part is rounded or blunt. The middle part is wider as compared to anterior part, and the posterior end is the pointed. From the anterior end arises a whip-like which moves Euglena or forward, possessing forward movement of Euglena. This is called as the flagellum, and this flagellum which helps for the locomotion in the Euglena. Here this is the structure of Euglena. In structure of Euglena, it consists of the outermost elastic, thin but distinct, tough cuticle membrane is called as a pellicle, and these pellicles are lies beneath the plasma membrane. It is flexible to permit the movement and these pellicle are proteinaceous in these pellicles are made up of proteinaceous matter, therefore no cellulose are present in their cell wall. For example, in Chlamydomonas, the cell wall present a cellulose. Then the pellicle consists of thin, firm, elastic and helically disposed strip. These pellicle strips fuse at both ends of the body and each bears a groove along one edges and the ring along other edges. The edges of adjustment strips overlap and articulate along their entire length in such a way that the ridge of one fits into a other of groove. The articulating edge appears as a striations and these striations is called as the myonames, and these myonames are responsible for the movement of flagella by the contraction of body. Below the pellicles are present a row of mucus secreting muciferous body, and these muciferous bodies are helpful for lubricating these myonames. Then in the structure of euglena, it consists of the cytoplasm, and this cytoplasm is divided into two parts. First is the outermost covering, it is called as the endoplasm. It is a clear, dense, narrow, spherical and non-granular containing microtubules and muciferous body. Then endoplasmic reticulum, it is the more fluid containing, it is a granular, central zone containing and nucleus, and several types of inclusions are present in the body. Then next part is the reservoir. At the anterior end of the body, there is an invagination forming a permanent flask-shaped cavity, and this flask-shaped cavity is led into a short tubular canals, and these consist, it is called as a reservoir. In reservoir consist of the outermost circular ring-like structure. It is called as the cytostome. These are a mouth-like opening. Then in below the cytostome, it consists of a cytopharynx. Cytopharynx to the outside, it is the external opening. It's called as the cytostome. It is work like a mouth. The reservoir is lined by plasma membrane without pellicle beneath it. Next part is present. This euglena is the flagellum. Flagellum, it present at the anterior body. It is a single thread-like flagellum, and these flagellum which is arise from blepharoplasts which are present in the reservoir. Typically, it is made up of an axial elastic filament, and this axial elastic filament is called as a axonome, and this axonome is covered by a protoplasmic sheath. The flagellum is not just one but paired, and other being smaller and conformed within the reservoir. Two flagella originates from two tiny granules, and these blepharoplasts or kinetochores which lie embedded in the cytoplasm near the base of reservoir. Along flagellum bears a lateral swelling. On blepharoplast or kinetosomes, and these swelling are called as a paraflagellar body, and these paraflagellar body present near at the base within the reservoir, and these paraflagellar body act as a photoreceptor and probably contains a lactoflavin as a sensitizer. Then another cell organelles is the nucleus. Nucleus, it is a single large spherical or oval vesicular nucleus lies near the center of endoplasm, usually towards the posterior end of the body, and it in nucleus consists of a large solid central body, and this central body is called as a nucleus of chromatin, are called as endosomes or karyosomes. The nuclear membrane is present and it is a double layer membrane which is perforated by pores. In nuclear membrane or in nucleoplasm contains several nucleoli and a large number of granules, and these granules and also contain a thread like chromosomes. Then next another organelles are present in the euglena. It is a contractile apparatus. These contractile apparatus is associated with reservoirs. It is a dense osmoregulatory zone. It includes two contractile vacuoles. One is a large central contractile vacuoles, and it large central contractile vacuoles is surrounded by several smaller accessory contractile vacuoles which probably fuse together and to form a large vacuole. These vacuoles play a role in the discharge of water along with some waste products of metabolism to outside via the reservoir cytopharynx and cytostome. Then another is the stigma. The stigma is laying near the reservoir on side opposite to that of contractile vacuole. It is a discoidal or red pigment spots. The eye spot, or it is also called as a eye spot or stigma. The stigma is composed of a plate of lipid droplet, each charged with red pigment, and these red pigment is called as the carotenoids. The stigma and the paraflagellar body together to form a photoreceptor apparatus. When euglena is moving towards the light, the receptor is illuminated. When it changes direction, the shadow of pigments falls on the receptor. Thus, another cell organelles is the endoplasmic inclusions. The endoplasmic inclusions are consist of chromatophores, or it is also called as a chloroplast. These chloroplasts are present in cytoplasm. They are number of green bodies, and the chromatophore or chromatoplast, they give the euglena its green color because of they contain green pigment, chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, along with beta carotene. Chloroplast of euglena viridis are slender and radiate from the central point so as to form a star-shaped grouping, in the center of which chloroplast is a single proteinaceous pyronoid, which is probably the center for formation of starch-like substances, and these starch-like substances is called as a paramyelin. The chloroplast consists of the outermost layer, it is called as a stroma, and innermost layer it is called as a thylakoid. These thylakoid are consist of, or it is consist of a 3 lamellae, and these are placed in the matrix or stroma, also containing ribosomes, fat globules, Each chloroplast is bounded by a triple membrane envelope. The animal which depend upon sunlight for the photosynthesis we can orient towards the light. Next, granular body is present in the cytoplasm of Euglena. It is a paramylon. This paramylon is the endoplasm contain several small freehold granules of paramylon, and these paramylon which is made up of a polysaccharide. It is similar to that of starch but not identical with it, not colored blue with iodine solution. It is produced by photosynthesis and represents a reserve food material. Then other cytoplasmic structures. The cytoplasm contains other subcellular organelles as well. The Golgi bodies are piles of a large flattened sacs with minute vesicles pinching off from them. It also contains ER, then mitochondria, ribosomes and endoplasmic reticulums are also present in the cytoplasm or endoplasm in Euglena. Then we see how the reproduction takes place in Euglena. Euglena, it is multiplied by asexually by binary fission and multiple fission and undergoes a encystment. Firstly, the binary fission. When the favorable conditions are occur, that is water, temperature are available, the Euglena divides by longitudinally binary fission. The food a sample longitudinal division is always symmetrogenic. That is, symmetrogenic means they form a exact mirror image. That is, the parental Euglena divides into two daughter individuals where one is the plain mirror image of the other. The first nucleus divides into two by mitosis, which is followed by the division of cytoplasm. The nuclear division is the persistence of nuclear membrane. The mitotic divisions takes place in prophase stage. All the nuclei fuse together into a single nucleolar body, and each chromosome is split into longitudinally by two daughter chromosomes are called as chromatids. In next step is the metaphase stage. The metaphase stage, the paired chromatids come to lie in a longitudinal plane or equatorial plate. The microtubules are present in nucleus but they do not form a spindle. In anaphase stage, the paired chromatids separate and move towards their respective pole. It has been suggested that the movement of chromatids is autonomous with mutual repulsion. The nuclear membrane begins to contract longitudinally. Here we see how the reproduction takes place by asexually by binary fission. In the telophase stage, constriction in the nuclear membrane depends and finally separates the nucleus into two daughter nuclei. The nuclear body also splits into two halves, each taking its plane in the daughter nucleus of its own side. Next follows the cytokinesis. The longitudinal furrow appears in the cytoplasm, and these are begins at the anterior end, and these which depends and finally divide Euglena into the two daughter Euglenae. Organelles of the anterior end such as reservoir, cytopharynx, cytostome, flagella, stigma and contractile vacuoles are also duplicate by the formation of new set of this structure. However, the new stage of this flagella arise from the new basal bodies which appears in the vicinity of old basal bodies. Multiple division and palmella stage. Then next stage is the multiple division. The euglena is reproduced by multiple binary fission on palmella stage. When in euglena in under a inactive period, it undergoes a multiple fission in an insisted condition. The movement of euglena stop, flagellum is thrown off and euglena becomes rounded and it is embedded in a extensive thick mucilaginous coat, and these coats are also called as a cyst, and these cysts which is secreted by a mucilaginous body. The encystment is usually followed by repeated longitudinal binary fission with the formation of several daughter individuals embedded in this mucilaginous mass. These daughter individuals within this mucilaginous mass secrete their own mucilaginous coat or cyst around themselves, which resembles the palmella stage of any algae such as Chlamydomonas. Later, these daughter individuals acquire flagella and is scraped to grow into the adult euglena. Then another is the encystment. Encystment takes place as a protective measure to tide over when the unfavorable conditions are occur or shortage of food, oxygen, drought condition occur, excessive heat, etc. As this condition, the encystment occur. A cyst wall is secreted in the form of thick, spherical, yellowish, gelatinous covering, and this covering is composed of a special carbohydrates. The encysted animal not only successfully withstand the adverse condition of life, but also they enjoy a far and wide dispersal. When this condition become favorable, the animals become active and emerges from the seed, cease to ensure or to resume its normal free swimming life. As already stated above, the individuals undergo a single or several divisions resulting in two or many new individuals. Here we complete the reproduction of euglena. In this lecture, we have completed the euglena viridis. Thank you.